We have Australia's largest range of tyre brands and sizes. Find a cheaper identical tyre locally stocked and we'll beat it. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
It's round 21 NPL action and it's derby football for South Melbourne as they travel to Knights Stadium to take on the Melbourne Knights in a wet and wild wintry day, John Caro. What can we say about these conditions?
Well, they're appalling, David. What else can you say? But the game has to be played and it's the original Melbourne derby here. South, of course, have played the Knights 3 times already across 3 different competitions this year and have come from behind to win each one. Can we do the same thing again today for a 4th time this season?
Good to see the fans braving the rain, although most of them headed for the cover of the grandstand. Marler on the right-hand side, looking for an early ball in. Jawadi making his way to the top of the box, goes in a bit deeper, and Uzcock gets the clearance. Suri, that's a dangerous ball down to Iki Jawadi. Jawadi nearly got a gift there from the Knights defender. One goes up the line and chopped off by Hatzi Costas. Epifano returning from his trials in Scotland, plays that one to the middle. Losing his feet there is eager to Luic. Luic with the shot on the right foot, trying to pick Chris May there, trying to perhaps catch him out in these rough conditions. Chris May goes long and flat, only as far as Irwin, who goes across field to Monopolis, now to Luic. Luic charging in, goes for the shot, Chris May off the feet, back to Monopolis, cleared off the line by Batura, and they come in again, and Chris May manages to pick it up. A goal-mouth scramble, and the Knights defence hang on. There's some real pressure there, John.
Well, the first big opportunity for the match, David, and it's gone to South. Monopolis with a nice ball, setting Milos Luic through. Credit to Chris May, comes off his line very quickly and sticks his left leg out and makes a very important save. The ball falls to Monopolis with the follow-up header, but luckily for the Knights, it's Milan Batua on the line who clears it. Monopolis has another chance, and eventually the ball is scrambled back to a very relieved Chris May.
Trying to find something from some of their tall timber inside the box here. South defence trying to keep them out in these wet, slippery conditions. The ball played in. Dangerous moments. Uzcock keeps it alive. The ball goes through. The flag is up. Covarrubias puts it into the back of the net. The Knights very nearly opening the scoring there, but for the referee's assistant, John.
Yeah, Covarrubias has the ball in the back of the net, but it's been disallowed. I think it's Zadworthy there with a touch there that puts him offside. The linesman's flag is up and the goal is disallowed despite the ball going into the back of the net.
And that one long up the left-hand side there. In fact, clean bowling Jawadi, and now Epifano has to stop to get it back in this wet conditions. Was that a push on Luic? No, says the referee. Theodore playing it wide. Epifano wants a cross, plays it in, looking for Luic. And nearly an opportunity there for big Milos Luic. Has a good record of scoring against the Knights. Well, Chris May pumping that one up the middle, probably the best option in these conditions. Eager can't clear it. Andrijasevic lurking, gets round Norton. Norton was on the ground. Brekalo plays it forward to Andrijasevic and he scored. And the Melbourne Knights have the lead after 35 minutes here. It was a nice finish. In truth, though, question marks over the South defence, John. They're punished for failing to clear that one.
Yeah, very nice finish from the Melbourne Knights. Andrijasevic with a very nice finish, but you've got to question some of the South defending here. Michael Eager trying to pass that back to Brad Norton. He slips up, and in the end, Brekalo puts Andrijasevic through, clearly onside as you see, and he just has the task of chipping that over Roganovic and into the far corner of the net. It's a very nice, neat finish there from the Melbourne Knights centre forward, and it's the home side with a 1-0 lead. You see there, with Andrijasevic being put through, and he just curls that past Roganovic and puts the ball in the back of the net, and it looks like the Knights will go into half-time 1-0 up.
Hatzi Costas jostling and trying to follow up, but to no avail. Now Covarrubias on the right. Norton goes to put some physical pressure on. Just the ticket in these conditions. Covarrubias protects. Can't find anything, eventually gets a cross in. Chance at the back post and the header goes over the bar there. And the Melbourne Knights threatening for a second. Well, first good chance of the second half here. And now here's Iki Jawadi, plays it across the face. Suri clears, sits for Matthew Theodore, into the box and they hit back. Matthew Theodore scores the equaliser for South. It was a nice bit of pressure play in the build-up. Iki Jawadi played a shot in. Suri got the clearance, but Theodore lurking as he so often does at the edge of the box and finishes beautifully into the bottom corner.
That's exactly what South needed so early into the second half, David. Epifano from the corner to Jawadi. goes for the shot, and it only meets Suri there, who heads it clear. Matty Theodore lurking at the edge of the box, like you said, David. There's no one else that you want on the edge of the box to fire shots like that. Chris May, he can't keep that out of the back, and then he gets a hand to it, but it goes under him and into the back of the net for 1-1. You see there, Suri only clears it as far as Theodore at the edge of the box, and there he goes with the volley, a fierce volley that goes under May and into the back of the net for 1-1. South equalise, and let's see if we can get on with it, David.
Oh dear, that's a bad clearance in these conditions, but Hatzikostas can't reach it, slipping over. And the return pass is cut out again, this time by Jawadi Hatzikostas. The conditions playing havoc with the skills at the moment. It's a bit like ping pong out there in the wet. Jawadi comes up with it eventually, tries a dipping shot from the edge of the box and finds the roof of the net there. Michael Eager is realising the best option is to pump long, although can't find his marker, but it sits up. Milos Lujic plays it wide now for Manopoulos. And Lee Manopoulos just a little bit too stretched in the wet, couldn't quite get a clean shot on. That one scraped in low towards the 6-yard box. Cleared for the moment to Zvitkovic. Puts it up high looking for Andrijasevic, and the header goes across the face. Dangerous here, both sides threatening goal. Ball played in quickly to Zvitkovic. Looks to turn and get the cross in, does nicely. Plays it in high, looking for his man, but beating everybody. Now McGarry has time to have a look. Wants it on his left, switches to his right, plays it in. Norton fails to clear Irwin. It sits up for Talajic, and Talajic scores from close range. The ball not dealt with again by the South Melbourne defence. A dangerous ball played in. It sits straight for Talajic in front of goal, and he wasn't going to turn down an opportunity like that. The Knights take the lead for the second time, John.
And it's a substitute, Talajic here, who pops up to score the Knights' second of the day, but again it's just calamitous South defending, David. Brad Norton flicking it to Irwin, and it just comes off Irwin and sits up perfectly for Talajic, who's right in the right spot at the right time, and he just puts that past Raganovic for 2-1.
Ball played in quickly, looking for Talajic with the header into the side netting, and well, it would have been good night South Melbourne if that one went in.
And then also would have been the substitute Talajic's second of the afternoon, David. He flicks it at the near post, but it's gone wide.
Well, a triple substitution here by Chris Taylor, clearly trying to turn the game. He's bringing off Epifano, Manopoulos and Hatzikostas, and bringing on Andy Bevan, Jake Barkadesh and David Sturton for the last passage of this game. Throw, not quite what he intended, and it'll come back in the middle here to, Tim Marler was brought down in a crunching tackle there. Referee blew the whistle straight away. Well, it looks like he might be injured here for the last few minutes, Timmy Marler. A yellow card dished out for the tackle. It was late, it was studs up. Barkadesh plays that one in high. Norton brings it down. Norton with the shot and deflected wide. And the Knights clinging on in injury time here. Brad Norton probably had that one on target. Almost an equaliser for South.
Almost a dramatic equaliser, David, in injury time. Brad Norton does all to bring this down and goes for the shot that is creeping in. But Ivan Grgic there, last gasp defending, and it's gone out for a corner for South.
Sturton, they've got to get everybody in here. South, time ticking away. Plays it to the far post looking for Norton. The hand was up by Uzkok. It's a penalty. It's an injury time penalty. An unbelievable finish. Uzkok appeared to have the hand up. It was Norton who put the header straight into it. Referee right there. Probably no choice in that decision, John. And what drama at Knights Stadium.
Very dramatic, David. And from the corner you have Sturton playing the ball across. Looked like there was nothing in it. And then Brad Norton heads it back in. And Uzkok, the captain for the Knights, with the arm up. Geez, how many penalties do the Knights concede against South, David? The arm's clearly up there, and the referee's right in the right position. Points to the spot. Can David Sturton seal a point for South today?
Sturton steps up, and it's saved. Chris May's done it. Unbelievable. He's done it for the second time in a week. Saved a last-minute penalty, and surely now 3 points going to the Melbourne Knights. Unbelievable. He kicks it away, and the whistle is blown, and it's game over. Finally, South Melbourne's great run against the Melbourne Knights is over. John, what can you say? High drama here at Knights Stadium.
Well, very dramatic indeed, David. Chris May, only 4 days earlier, made a massive save in injury time to deny the Bentley Greens a win, and he's done it again here tonight, David. Chris May, David, as we see, he goes early, dives right very early. David Sturden still doesn't change his way there, and he goes that same way, and Chris May makes the save, and he wins the 3 points for the Knights in very dramatic circumstances, David.
Well, the Knights players celebrating, their fans celebrating. Not surprising, really. We've had a great run against them. You have to say the side that took their chances gets the 3 points today. Disappointment for us, but in the end can't fault the Melbourne Knights. They were due for one against us. Disappointing considering we could have taken top spot, but we just need to go back to the drawing board, John. This week's Fix Hellas Beer Man of the Match award goes to a player who scored a beautiful goal to get us on level terms. Well done, Matthew Theodore.